Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the presentation of Rocky Mountain Academy of Evergreen Marketing Team. This presentation is about understanding and complying with the laws and regulation, mainly of copywriting. We're going to begin by speaking of the different types of intellectual property law that apply to us as a marketing team. In case you do not know this ahead of time, the intellectual property is any product of the human intellect that the law protects from unauthorized use by others. The types of intellectual property that will be applying to us and that we need to be aware of are different patents, trademarks, and copyrights. What is copyrightable for our own personal use? Well, that would be our school logo, which you see on the right, workbooks, pages for the use of the students, distributed by the teachers or any other administrative personnel. These are okay to use as long as the student doesn't take them home and copyright them or copy them, for a different use other than what they're supposed to be used for. Another copyrightable thing that we have that we can use is the information or the health pamphlets. Like currently would be like the coronavirus pamphlets, speaking of like washing your hands or like wearing masks. But anything distributed by the Jefferson County Health Department or any other Jefferson County administration that we need to give to our students that we feel like would help them. What are conditions under which we can use copyright materials? Well, that would be several different conditions, obviously, for our use, but some of the most recent ones that we've come into contact with are going to be for remote learners and other school functions, although, school functions aren't a big priority right now, but we have to be aware of the background music we use. We have to be aware of the images that we are showing to our remote learners via their different learning or Zoom meetings. It's great to have entertainment or for the teaching purposes, and it helps the kids learn, but we do need to be aware of what we are showing these children or what we are using that belong to other people. And also the school handouts. We have to be aware of the images we use or the wording we use and issues like that. So an explanation of the public domain, Creative Commons, and fair use that we use in our organization. That's really important for us to be able to understand the copyright laws. So the public domain is just material that belongs to us as a community or as a school. The Creative Commons are just material that we use, like we use to copy, that we revise, we change, we make it different, or we just take it from somebody else and we redistribute that. Somebody else's creative work of art that we are using for our own personal use. Also, we have to be aware of fair use, which would be anything that would be non-commercial in nature, non-substantial portion of the work, or it's not doesn't impede the rights of the holder to distribute the work. If the author of the work doesn't have a copyright on it or something of that nature, then we are obviously able to use that for our teaching and different educational resources. So what are some recommendations for the copyright and media use for our organization? I think that we probably need to get a blanket license for our music or just certain educational material that we use on a daily basis or on a very common basis. That way we can just pay one fee up front and not have to go back and worry about what could happen or did we get something wrong. So if we are going to use, say, like an educational song that has already been copyrighted, then it would be great for us just to go ahead and just pay the fee up front so we don't have to worry about it at a later date. Also, another would be the Creative Commons licenses. We could get that if we use, which I know we do. We use a lot of the certain like images from other creative or artists to show education to our children. And if we use that image or certain images, or we're changing it up or adding some fun words to it, that would be great for us just to go ahead and get the license to not have to worry about that at a later date. Thank you so much for coming to my presentation today, and I hope that you've learned some about copywriting and take home what I've said, and maybe we can come back at a later date and figure out what we want to do and what license we want to acquire in order to make the school legally fit for copywriting and to avoid all future issues. Thank you and have a great day.